We're Meg and Morgs. After spending 9 months backpacking our way across Southeast Asia, we decided we were ready for a new challenge. After arriving in Australia, we bought a converted four-wheel drive, and so far we've driven all the way from Cairns down to Melbourne. Our adventure now takes us to our fourth state, the beautiful and rugged island of Tasmania, where we'll be spending the next month exploring what it has to offer. Join us today as the adventure continues.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're Meg and Morgs, and this is the third video in our Tasmania road trip series. We've been here for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, getting towards 3 weeks. I think we've got another 10 days left basically.
Yes.
And yeah, we've just finished our pet sit in Cradle, which was just north of Launceston.
Which was just perfect. Like, it was so relaxing, so beautiful. It was exactly what we needed.
It was.
But yeah, we're excited to get travelling again. So we are heading across to Cradle Mountain. So we weren't sure which way round we were going to do this leg of the journey. So basically we just let the weather decide. Because obviously Cradle Mountain is
notorious for its bad weather as well.
Yeah, so the forecast looked a lot better for Cradle Mountain than what it did for Booney, hence us coming here first. But yeah, Morgan found us this campsite on Wiki Camps.
Yep, I'll put the name of it on the screen. It's like a donation. Well, I think it's like a donation sort of one. So there's like an honesty box, and you put your money in, and that sort of way of doing it. But
there's $10 a car. Yes. So it's really cheap.
Very cheap, and we're just on a little nature trail that they have provided, and we're looking for some echidnas because we haven't seen.
Well, we're not properly.
Well, we saw that little one on the side of the
Mount Wellington.
But yeah, so that's the plan, and
also hopefully a platypus, but
you know,
they're very elusive.
I think we're going to get up early or stay up late one evening when we're near Devonport, because that place we went to at the very beginning, is supposed to be like the hot spot for the world apparently, for Australia, for seeing platypus. So that is our goal for this walk.
But yeah, we're excited. Cradle Mountain looks incredible, so we'll be doing lots of exploring in our few days here.
We had a very successful walk last night. In the end, we saw a lovely little echidna,
and it was just so nice because it was literally us two, so like we could keep our distance but just spend time watching it. And they're so interesting little creatures. Like their back feet are like backwards, and then they like use their nose to like push in like an anteater almost.
They're very interesting. And they are one of two mammals that can lay eggs. So it's them and the platypus. Very interesting. Like everything in Australia. I mean,
it's like a mix between like a porcupine and a hedgehog, I would say.
Yeah, but then lays eggs like a bird.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But yeah, that was lovely. We had a lovely like sunrise this morning with the mountains and stuff like that. It was very beautiful.
Also, like the weather's looking really good.
Better than the forecast. So I mean,
we're happy.
We're very happy. This area is notorious for its bad and like changeable weather.
Yeah.
As you can see from all everything's green here, whereas everything where we've been so far in Tasmania has been like grey and beige, and not so nice. So we're taking the short drive, about 35 minutes to the Cradle Mountain Visitor Centre this morning.
Yeah, it's a very windy road.
Very windy road.
So probably take a little bit longer.
Yeah, allow yourself a bit more time. But yeah,
the spot was nice. So we'll give you a tour later because we'll probably stay there tonight as well.
Yeah, since the weather's good, we'll probably have a couple of days exploring this area. Just to take advantage of it, and we're time rich now since we managed to get so much done on the first sort of couple of episodes. So if you haven't seen those already, go back because it was jam packed with fun stuff. And yeah, we'll just speak to you again when we get to the visitor centre and update you with our plans for the day.
Yes.
At the visitor centre was so helpful. So we booked 72-hour shuttle bus tickets, and to be honest, we're quite time rich, so if the weather's nice tomorrow, we'll probably come back. That was $15 per person, but cut a lot of walking out, and we got it to the end of the line, which was Dove Lake. But look at this weather.
It's better than what we would have expected, and the views of the mountains and stuff are perfect. And the lady at the visitor centre gave us she wrote a little route for us on the map. So
she helped us plan out a nice views to effort ratio.
Yeah. So
that's always good. I'm sorry, but look at these views.
It's an excellent mountain. Kind of looks a bit like Mount Cook with the way it's like a... What would you describe it as?
But yeah, what stunning views. Look at this.
Amazing scenery. It's so nice here, honestly.
Feeling very fortunate as well that it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Because it is probably more quiet than what it would be.
And also the kids in Tasmania went back to school on the 8th of February.
Yes, so it's no longer school holidays.
So it's kind of like perfect weather, like not a weekend and no kids at school. So now it's kind of like...
Very, very lucky we are.
Yeah, it's worked out well with the timings. So we're going to make the most of the day. The last bus back is at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So we're going to just crack on and see how much we can get done. One thing I'll just quickly add before we end the clip is that the estimated walk times for walks in Australia do seem to be massively overestimated.
Yeah.
I think maybe just because they do get a lot of older tourists, probably because it's like a more expensive place to come. So
yeah, I would say so.
So as a result of that, you might not actually take as long as what they say.
For example, when we were on Maria Island, there was a return walk, and it was saying 3 to 4 hours, and I think we did it in an hour and a half. We did pace it, but just something to think about. Okay, so we have just gained a lot of elevation from Lilla Lake?
Lillian, I think.
Lillian Lake. And now we are at the Wombat Pool Lookout. So plan of action, we are heading up to Crater Lake next.
Yep.
And then to Marion's Lookout. So that's like the route that the lady planned out for us.
Yeah, so I think that bit behind Megan.
Yeah.
Like somewhere up over here.
Yeah, here.
Is
Marion's Lookout.
Yeah. But yeah, it's looking good so far. I think we've done like the most of the elevation, to be honest. It doesn't seem to be too much of like a taxing journey. There's people of all sort of age groups.
So I think, look, you can see the steps there.
Yeah, and then so then we'll go to Crater Lake and up to the lookout and then back down and
along the boardwalk.
It's so beautiful. We've got such a good day for it. It's almost
too warm.
It might be too hot.
But we just can't complain because we know how lucky we are. Like, I think this is one of the wettest places in Australia, and look at the weather. So we've been so fortunate. So no complaints from us today. Maybe from Morgan, but not from me. Wombat Pool. This is Lilla Lake, and then this is Dove Lake when we started. So we've gained quite a bit of elevation. And that's the lookout up there. Okay, so we had a bit of a change of plans. When we did the lookout, it was quite like busy, rocky, steep, and honestly, like, we just wanted to sort of escape the crowd. So we've decided to walk back via the King's Track. So we're at the crater peak at the moment. It's definitely added elevation and time onto our trek. It said 2.5 hours back to Ronnie's Creek, but honestly I don't think it will be. You know, like, we've covered quite a lot of distance already. It's very up and down, but it's stunning, and like we said, this weather, like, we couldn't have asked for a better day, so we got to make the most of it and see as much as possible, and that's what we're doing. But yeah, having the best day. I think for us, like, we're at our happiest when we are in nature and in the mountains with wildlife, so, and that's exactly what you get with Cradle Mountain, so highly recommend. And avoid weekends and school holidays because it's so quiet in comparison to some of the videos I've seen. So no wombats, but Morg spotted a snake.
Only a little one is just down
Yeah, you can see it. Got it.
here. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, it's moving. I thought it was dead, to be fair. Good spot, Morgs. We thought we would do like a little rundown of the day, but we've been so lucky with the weather.
It's still nice.
I know
now.
we keep saying it, but it's still glorious.
Yeah, I feel like if we'd been when it was sort of like bad weather, all the stuff basically that we've seen today doesn't look like any of the clips that we've seen from like other people that we'd watched doing stuff, because there's always been like bad weather or raining or snowing or whatever, and it's never been warm.
The only downside to it being so warm is that obviously wombats aren't out and about, but it's so understandable. And also, like, we're time rich here, like, we can come back tomorrow when it's supposed to be cloudier in the morning or in the evening. Like, we can come again and hopefully see one then, and we have seen quite a few.
So hike wise, we ended up doing I think it's called like the Horseshoe Loop or something like that.
Yeah, so we started at Dove Lake, and then we went to Lillian Lake, Wombat Lake, Crater Lake, the Lookout, and then back to Ronnie's Creek via the Horse Loop.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less people, took a lot longer, but in total took 4.5 hours.
I thought that was great, and we definitely like took our time and stopped off and had some food and
like enjoyed the views. So it's really not too bad. We actually did quite a bit of elevation, I think. Yeah. Because it's very like up and down. But wasn't too bad at all.
No, and then we've come for some lunch / afternoon dinner, early dinner.
At Pepper's Lodge, which is really near the visitor centre.
Some accommodation here as well. It seems like it's quite expensive just because of its location. But the
meal was like, it was quite expensive, but I mean, like, we're in the middle of nowhere basically.
Yeah, it's like expensive pub food really.
Yeah, and also it was good food.
And I think
nice
it was,
to treat ourselves after a day of hiking.
Yeah, it was like $90 between the two of us, which is an unusual spend, but like, you know, it's nice for us to treat ourselves sometimes, and we're
then
doing
here
well on the budget.
Is where the Enchanted Walk starts and ends. So that's like a half an hour loop walk.
So we're probably going to do that
Yeah.
in a sec. We're just sitting out in the sunshine. It's like 4 o'clock now or something like
I think
that.
it's 5:30.
Is it 5:30 now? Let me have a look at the sign.
5:30.
It's 5:30. It's 5:30, so it seems like it just feels so warm.
I know, I can't
But
believe it's still so
all right,
sunny.
we can go for our little walk. Maybe we'll see some wombats.
Just saw a pademelon, or like 5 minutes in,
It's going well.
if that.
But it's
So
beautiful, like just down by
hopefully-
this little river creek, and
Yeah, like it's such a nice drop in temperature as well. Like it's really cool in here. So fingers crossed. But it's beautiful anyway. Echidna number 2. Isn't that so cute? Okay, here we go, day 2.
Yep.
We got the bus from the visitor centre to Ronnie's Creek and we're going to do the boardwalk. It's definitely a lot cloudier today,
certainly is a bit cooler.
but that's not a bad thing. Hopefully it means it's a bit cooler for the wombats. And yeah, fingers crossed we see some.
But it's still like a nice day up to, and the clouds are kind of like high up rather than low, but we're expecting some rain a bit.
Like this afternoon.
Yeah, maybe like 4 o'clock time. So this walk is going to be about an hour, I think, from Ronnie Creek to Dove Lake.
Dove Lake, yeah.
Then we're probably going to stop off there for a bit of lunch. We've had a bit of a slower morning, but yeah, it's just nice. And
also it's good that like our bus pass lasts 72 hours, so we didn't have to buy another one or anything.
yeah, I mean, you can even come back tomorrow, can't you?
Yeah.
And then do another day if there's enough for you to explore. There's a couple of other walks that we might do. We'll just kind of play it by ear and just do little short flat things today.
I do prefer about here, seeing the wombats, as to Maria Island, is I feel like people are a lot more respectful here. I don't know if it's like the boardwalk system, but people aren't going really close. They're like giving the animals their distance, which is just a lot more respectful and nice in our opinion. But yeah, it was definitely worth coming back. We've seen one mum and one baby that kept running back to its burrow when it was a bit windy. So yeah, successful. Snack spot.
Not bad at all. Alright, Megan's going to do story time from our walk.
So yesterday, we started at Dove Lake, and then we went to Lake Lilla, and then up to the Wombat Pool, and then there's a lot of elevation now. So we went up to the Cradle Lake, up to the Marian's Lookout, and then instead of going the quick way back, we decided to go back all the way around here, and we ended at Ronnie Creek when we got the bus back. But today it's cooler, more wombats, so we went from Ronnie Creek up and then across to Dove Lake.
Oh, he's fallen over.
That's so cute. Echidna number 4 in 3 days. So this one's like buried himself, so I don't know if he's digging for food or
Maybe he's tired. He's moving a bit.
A little bit later this evening. We've already seen 3 echidnas, so that's 4 today, 6 in total, so we're not doing bad at all considering we hadn't seen any before coming to Cradle Mountain. But yeah, it's so beautiful here, so peaceful, and it definitely comes alive when it gets a bit cooler. Okay, so I like to do a little tour about what the facilities are like at the camps that we're staying in. This is the camp, so nothing fancy again. But we have some toilets, loo roll, sink and soap. Soap's always a nice bonus.
Today has kind of been a bit of a travelling day.
Yeah.
We've driven about 3 hours south to the
Mount Field National Park, and we are just on a walk. So we've come to the visitor centre here, free parking of course, and we're just doing the Horseshoe Falls walk via Russell Falls. So it should take around 45 minutes, probably an hour with stops. And yeah, we should see 2 waterfalls.
There's another one as well, Lady Barron Falls, but it's just a bit further out of the way, and we just didn't really fancy walking like an hour and a half or whatever it is.
It's quite late in the day because we had a slow morning because it was rainy. So all that good weather finally caught up with us. But yeah, it should be nice.
We had a lovely drive as well through this sort of like upper alpine plateau. I can't remember what it was called.
The central.
Yeah, basically
constellation.
like yeah, something like that. But it was really lovely, and then we sort of like came to this viewpoint over the lake, and it was just
beautiful.
Like, yeah.
We were driving on like the Highland Lakes Road, and it's just so scenic, windy of course, but beautiful.
And there's like little communities up there, just like by the lake, but it was just absolutely freezing.
Yeah, so cold. It's like 9 degrees, which is like the coldest we've been in so long.
But yeah, we're just going to continue along this path, and we'll show you what we get up to. I don't know, it didn't feel like the 15 minutes that it was prescribed on.
And it was completely flat, that walk.
Yeah.
It's going up a bit now to Horseshoe.
But
yeah, not too much further.
No, it's beautiful. It was well worth coming a little bit out of our way to see this. But the thing is, we needed to go south anyway towards the Hobart area for our next part of the adventure. So yeah, well worth it so far.
From the other one.
No, it's just quite like steep steps.
Flights of stairs.
Yeah, pretty much, but nothing bad at all. And it's probably well worth it, I would say.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is very nice. It didn't take as long as what we thought it would. Kind of like most of the hikes in Australia, they sort of say that they take longer than what they will. So we're just going to work out what we want to do now. I still think it's too far because it's like 3:30 now for us to do the Lady Barron bit, and I'm not sure it's worth walking like another hour and a half or whatever. So we might just head back to the car and then off to our campsite. We're just going to work it out.
Last night here by a beautiful field. I'll show you some of the facilities quickly just before we head off we're going south today towards Brunei, which should be exciting. Okay, so we have a barbecue, bins, picnic tables, toilets, nice and simple. Toilet, sink with water but no soap, which is why we always travel with our own. But yeah, not bad at all. Also, it's so well located. It was like a 10-minute drive from the Mountfield National Park. Morgan found it on Wiki Camps, free camp, so we will put the location up on the screen in case you want to stay here.
Good morning. After a lovely few days exploring the Cradle Mountain National Park and then down here to the Mountfield National Park yesterday to do sort of some of that hiking around the waterfalls, that brings us to the end of this video. But we've had a lovely time.
It's been so good.
We really feel
lucky with the weather.
Definitely, and been able to see some of the wildlife at our campsites as well as in Cradle Mountain. It's all just worked out perfectly for us, and we're heading into the sort of the last stretch of our time in Tasmania now.
And I really recommend as well, like if you are wanting to visit Cradle Mountain on your trip in Tasmania, is to just go off the weather, because it's sort of when the weather's good in the east, it's bad in the west and vice versa. So let the weather sort of dictate your itinerary, and 100% if you have time, spend more than a day there, because there's so many different hikes, walks, nature, and
it's accessible for everyone as well.
It's so accessible, and also like your bus pass is still valid, so you don't have to pay any extra money. But it was just beautiful, and yeah, we really enjoyed it.
But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the video as well, and if you have, make sure to like and subscribe. But as always, we'll see you in the next one.